My name is Kate Blazer, and I'm a board member at Rebuilding Together, and I'm also the volunteer coordinator. And I want to start by explaining the purpose of this video. In the past, we've held 2 separate team leader meetings at our offices so that we can give you the information you'll need to be confident, lead your team, and feel well prepared for Project Day. This video is in lieu of those 2 meetings, and this is the first time we've done it. Obviously, I'm not a professional, so I apologize up front for any little bumps in the road, but it's really important to me that I give you all the information you're going to need. The first thing I'd like to say, though, is if there's something that is not included in this video and you have a question or something that is unique to your Project Day home or homeowner, please get in touch with Kate Dugan, who is our Executive Director, myself, or Jeff Oswald, who is the President of our board. Before I move on, I want to take a moment and thank you for your vital role in the success of Project Day for Rebuilding Together. We're an organization that works throughout the year to keep our homeowners, our neighbors, in an independent, safe, warm living environment. So we do that quietly, but Project Day is our big event. We get 20 sponsors, we get over 750 community members, and without you being the face of our organization at each project site, we wouldn't be able to explain about our mission, about the importance of who we're helping, and about the work we're doing. So thank you for being a team leader. Thank you for the commitment you've made to our organization, and thank you for ensuring that your team and your homeowner has a positive day as well. Before we get talking about Project Day itself, I want to remind you of the materials that you have and the steps that we've taken to make this process easier for you. Hopefully you're watching this video before you've held your own team meeting. And again, that can be in person or it could be electronic, whatever works best for you and your team members. But I want to remind you of the resources that you have access to. The first thing that I'm certain you've looked over by now is the team leader information. This is all of the information we want you to have prior to leading your team, and this is also information that you can share with the volunteers. That will be in a brown folder and will be clearly marked. The next item you would have already received is your Project Day poster. This is the image of your homeowner. What we want our volunteers to understand is we're not repairing a house. We're helping a homeowner live more happily, more healthfully, and more independent. So please share the story of who owns the home, and please, before you have your team meeting, talk to your project manager so you understand the work that's going to be done that day. All of this just allows you to speak with more confidence and allows you to feel more prepared as you take your team and lead them into the fun adventure that this is going to be. The materials that I want to talk to you about that are Project Day specific will all be included in your team leader box. You're going to find supplies, pens, tape, and name tags. On Project Day, every volunteer wears a name tag on the front of their 2012 Rebuilding Together t-shirt and on the back. Also, you'll find your CD that has all of the documents that you will need to lead your team and be prepared for Project Day. I have hard copies of everything in the box as well, but if you need to personalize anything, please feel free. The only thing that is a PDF is our waiver. That must be signed by all volunteers, but it can also be done electronically, and that can't be manipulated in any way. What I want to point out to you as it relates to Project Day is also already in your team leader box. The first will be a blue folder marked Project Day Post. These forms will also be printed in blue just to make it easy for you to remember. Everything in blue is essential that your volunteers have visual access to. So frequently people post these in the garage, wherever the work might be happening. And the first thing is a general timeline. Now, you have a team leader specific timeline that asks you to arrive at the house at 7:15. Our volunteers are asked to arrive at 8 o'clock, and this is the general information for them so that you can walk them through and they can refer to it themselves to know exactly what to expect. We also have a sign-in. We use that to track when we tell people the value of our services. We like to be able to say this many hours were dedicated, these services were completed. So this is important for our organization, but if you use it for your business too, please feel free to make copies, or when you leave your box of materials, we can make copies and mail them to you. We understand your tracking needs as well. The next document I want to show you is the general safety principles. This needs to be posted again where it's very visible. Not everyone has experience at a work site, and that is how we regard your Project Day home. It is a construction work site. People wear closed-toed shoes. It is not a day for accessories, purses. Nothing is brought to the home. This is a work site, and we need to be respectful. There will be scaffolding at many sites, ladders, digging. There's all sorts of things that go on So please make sure that general safety principles is very visible to everyone who might need to see it. Another sheet you're going to find is in case we finish early. And I'll reference this again as I go through the supplies that you're going to find at your site. Again, please refer your team members to this. If there's any extra time, we love to accomplish those jobs as well. And the last thing is the information for our party. After Project Day, one of the things that we love to do is celebrate with you, all of your team members, and all of your family members. Anyone who has served at Rebuilding Together, no matter how long their shift was, is invited to bring everyone in their family to come to our party. The doors open at 4 p.m. and it's just a real festive celebration. We have a polka band, we do a cakewalk, all sorts of family fun, but it's also a huge celebration of what's been accomplished that day. We will have a photographer come to your site and take images of you and your team members doing the work. We do present a plaque as a thank you to our sponsors and everybody who's been involved so that they can capture the memory of the team building that it was for you, the difference that you made in the community, and how much we appreciate it. Another folder you will find for Project Day, and again it will be marked Project Day Volunteer Registration, allows you to register people who might show up to your project site on Project Day. We obviously can't go through the normal system online and we won't have their paperwork in our office. So you can register up to 3 people, 3 new volunteers on Project Day. You'll have the waivers that need to be signed, the same thing you find electronically. We'll have hard copies for you, 3 of them. We'll also have 3 teen waivers. Because this is a construction site, you have to be at least 14 years of age. And if you have a 14-year-old who'd like to volunteer, we need to have their parent there as well to sign off on that. We will also provide additional shirts for you when you pick up your shirts, which I'll explain later. We will have 3 extra for you, again, in the case of same-day volunteers. Now I want to take a moment and walk you through Project Day. We ask the team leaders and the project managers to arrive at 7:15. For our homeowners, you are the face of Rebuilding Together, and we want them to be very clear that day that you are there to ensure it's a successful day for them. What we ask of you is that if you sense in any way your homeowner is not enjoying the experience or has questions or concerns, please notify our office. We will be giving you a laminated card of contacts. We will be supporting you throughout the day. As much as we want all of our volunteers to have a wonderful day, we recognize you are a volunteer too. So we want to keep this as pleasant for you as possible, but we appreciate you notifying us of any concerns you might have of any nature. Behind me are all of the supplies that you're going to find. They will either be in a garage, a carport, or if there is no other protective place, we will stack them in a porta potty. Every site has a porta potty, and that is for our volunteers. Occasionally it's for our homeowners too. We do work in bathrooms and sometimes they are not functioning. So please make sure everybody knows about the porta potty, knows to use it, and check it if you don't see your products anywhere else. I want to talk to you though, when you pull up to the house, the first thing you'll see is a Rebuilding Together sign. That's because we're proud of our sponsors and we want to identify within the neighborhood who we are and what we're doing. We're always trying to find more people to help. So this sign helps us. It also helps us recognize and celebrate the amazing partners we have within the community. The next thing I want to point out is actually the table that's holding everything. You will find this white fold-up table. It will be folded up and closed. Just pop it out, and we ask that you set this and create kind of a welcome station for your volunteer. This is where you can put your sign-in information. You can attach other notices if you'd like to. Frequently people set up coffee, serve their breakfast, and later their lunch and beverages from this table as well. You're going to find 2 boxes. One is for recycling and one is for food items. Please point those out to your volunteers because while there will be a large dumpster at your site, we don't want to mix in any recyclable items and we don't want to put food items in that debris. Okay, the next thing that you'll find at your site are the 4 buckets that we've provided. Our job is to give you all the materials you need to make a difference. If for some reason you're needing something that we haven't provided, please notify us right away. You have that contact sheet. We have designated runners who have our credit card, who use our discounts so that we can get the greatest savings possible to provide you and our homeowner with exactly what they need. So please make the call quickly so that we can be there with the supplies as soon as possible. Of the 4 buckets, we have one that simply has detergent in it. This is what we ask you to wash your painting supplies with. We try and reuse as much of our materials as we can, and we would appreciate you cleaning the brushes and the other painting items. If you use a roller, things like that. And if you use a liner, those are disposable, so please feel free to throw that in with the construction debris. The next bucket relates directly to our In Case We Finish Early site. It's actually a variety of cleaning products. And I know it seems a little funny to think of cleaning as leading to safety or independence, But we find that people who don't have an able body are restricted in some of the ways that they can care for their house. Something as simple as changing light bulbs or cleaning windows allows them greater visibility, prevents accidents. So please refer to that list. We'd love to have people make a difference in whatever way is most comfortable for them. The next bucket is the supply bucket. This is where you'll find your painting materials or anything that's unique to your site. Unfortunately, we can't supply everything, particularly for our landscaping needs. So if for your project there is a large amount of landscaping, please work with the project manager and encourage some of your volunteers to bring a rake from home or some other unique supply that you might need. Rebuilding Together really asks you to make sure people identify their own tools and take them with them, because we won't take anything when we come and clean up that isn't Rebuilding Together's. So please make sure there's a name on everything and it's accounted for by the end of the day. They take it with them. The last bucket is our safety supplies. And we are proud to be 12 years of making a difference injury-free. We haven't had accidents. This is more for first aid. If there is a larger accident, we ask you first to call 911. Secondly, please call either our Executive Director, Kate Dugan, the Board President, Jeff Oswald, or anyone else on your contact list. We have a close network supporting you that day, and we want to know immediately. If it is a minor injury, please be certain to find the first aid kit, Band-Aids, or anything that you might need. And also, please still notify someone at Rebuilding Together so that we can come out and check out everything. Your safety is our first concern, the safety of our homeowner. And then the second thing we really want to focus on is everyone having a positive day. So please help us make sure that happens. Okay, so now that we've talked about setting up for Project Day, everything leading up to Project Day, I just want to walk you through what the experience is going to be like. You were there at 7:15, you have everything in place, and by 10 to 8 you should be ready to welcome your volunteers. When the volunteers arrive, the first thing we ask you to check is that they're wearing their shirt. Our volunteers will be wearing the same color shirt. There will be more than 750 people on the first Saturday in May in the Rebuilding Together shirts. We guarantee our homeowners nobody will be in there who isn't in our shirt, and you don't get to wear the shirt until you understand everything that makes Rebuilding Together great, all of the needs of our homeowner, all the needs of the project, and the respect of that home and homeowner that need to happen. We'll have a different color shirt for our team leaders, our project managers, and our board members. And that's so that they stand out on the day of the event, easily identified as a good resource. So please make sure everybody has the shirts on. Please make sure you have your supplies out so people are able to put their name tag on the front and the back of their shirt just for ultimate safety. In case somebody has their back turned, you can still call their name. After you have everything in place, take a deep breath, maybe have a cup of coffee yourself, and please be ready to welcome the volunteers and get them excited about the day ahead. We'll have a board member from our organization there to greet and make sure that everything is running smoothly as well. We want to assist you, and we want to express our thanks not only to you, but to every volunteer who gives their Saturday up to make a difference for somebody else. Once the work gets started, the project manager should have a job list, and we'll be able to explain to the volunteers the order of events, how things will be done, and where the needs are. The project manager oversees the tasks that will be completed. You are going to be watching over the personnel to make sure your volunteers are engaged, your volunteers are happy, and that your homeowner is happy, and that everything is moving along safely. Remember, safety is a primary concern for us, so we ask you and the project manager to keep your eye out. It seems easy to say when we're talking, it seems silly that somebody would lean off of a ladder, but when you're in the middle of painting, sometimes people lean way over without thinking. We ask you to find a gentle and clear way to let them know that that's not acceptable at a work site. It will lead to trouble. So if you have any questions, we have a safety point person, and again, we have all of our leadership that will be on that contact sheet. Bring in somebody else to say what's not easy for you to say if you'd like, but if you spot it, please let us know because it needs to be addressed. Sometime during the morning or early afternoon, there will be a photographer that comes to your work site. We capture the images of you and your team making a difference, and we put together a thank you plaque so that you can remember the team building experience, we can thank you, and your sponsor can celebrate the difference that was made because of them. So please make sure you're monitoring your volunteers. When the photographer gets there, you can walk them around. You'll probably be more familiar with the site. As the day progresses, if people have finished their tasks but are still interested in making a difference, that's when we use that in case we have timesheet. And if people need to take off, please remind them the Project Day party happens at 4 p.m. at Holy Spirit Gymnasium, and we would love to have them and their families join us. So in the afternoon, probably by 2 or 3, you need to start being cognizant of wrapping things up. We ask that you're done at your home by 4 p.m. So by 3 o'clock, there's no new projects that are taken on. We need to start in cleaning phase. And the most important thing for our homeowners is that we leave the house in better shape than when we got there. Please, again, stack everything where you found it. Clean those paintbrushes, clean the materials so that we don't have to use donor dollars to replace them. Stack everything where it was. We ask that you and the project manager, before leaving, would confirm that the homeowner knows about the project day party, that all of your team members know about it, that all of your supplies are where you found them, with the exception of open paint cans and open stain cans. We leave that with the homeowner wherever they would most like it. Please walk your homeowners through the house and give them an opportunity to ask any questions and for you to clearly explain what will be followed up with if there's unfinished business. So if there's anything that I haven't covered, please get in touch with me. My phone number is 284-0639 and my email is kate.blazer@gmail.com, and I'm more than happy to help you. Again, we're just trying out this system for the first year. I'm not great on video, so I hope the information anyway has been delivered to you clearly. I'd love to follow up with any questions you have, and I would really ask if you have any thoughts about how we can improve your experience, please tell us. We want to get better and better, and we feel the only way we'll be able to do that is by listening to the people who are on the front lines. You are a huge resource for us, and we are grateful. Thank you so much for contributing to Rebuilding Together's success.